right, so let's fire this thing up. One of my favorite things to do. Hello everybody, I'm Adrian. Behind me I got the Maserati Granturismo. So I've had this car for 3 years now. It's been such an awesome car. So before I take it out into the road and do a driving review, let's just check out the exterior, because that's one of my favorite things about this car. It's just the way that it looks. So there are a lot of cars out there that the manufacturers will make all this aggressive shapes and trapezoids and just all kinds of very sharp angles. But this car, it's not overly aggressive. The proportions are just right, and I think that's what will make it a timeless design, because this car was in production from 2008 all the way to 2019, but it's still such a great looking car. So it'll definitely age quite well. I really like the combination that I got because of the way everything matches. So I got the black wheels, Grigio Granito, I believe that's how it's pronounced. That's the color of the car. Got the carbon fiber door handles, carbon fiber side skirt, carbon fiber mirror covers, and then this little carbon fiber piece right here. So it just adds to the appeal of the car. So I think the carbon fiber package looks really good on this car just because of the color of the car. So, and then another really cool thing is this one has a carbon fiber diffuser. So it's not too aggressive, but it still adds to the look of the car. Alrighty, so let's check out the interior. So this car has the Cuoio interior. So that's the brown, but in Italian that just means leather. And we got the, I believe it's called the rosewood. So that's the wood trim. Goes across the dash, also to the passenger and driver side door panels, and also the top of the shifter knob. I really like that analog clock. And then we got the Maserati logo in the center. So everything nowadays is all digital, but I like the analog, and especially these gauges, just a timeless classic look. And one of my favorite things is this huge paddles that this car has. So some of the biggest shifting paddles I've seen, and it's really fun working it through the gears, so it adds to the driving experience. So let's go ahead and fire it up and take it out into the road. And it's just such a beautiful sound that this car makes. So I've had this car for 3 years now. I'm going to talk about reliability first, because that's, in my opinion, that's one of the most important things when it comes to ownership. Because nobody wants a car that's got all these problems. This car's been great. It's never had any issues. And that's one of the things I looked for when I was shopping around and I saw the clean history. And these cars tend to be reliable. The Granturismos tend to be very reliable cars. And part of the reason has to do just because it's been in production for such a long time. And the technology that it uses, just a naturally aspirated V8. It's doesn't have the complexity of a turbo, direct injection. The transmission's a 6-speed transmission. So a lot of vehicles, I mean, there's cars out there that have 10-speed automatics now. So the technology that the car has, it's not complex like a lot of cars out there. So that also helps out in this car being reliable. So when it comes to maintenance can be quite expensive, especially if taking the vehicle to the dealership. So when I called to get an estimate on an oil change, that I was estimated at almost $600, and that's just way too much, because it's not really that hard to do. So I did it myself, got a video in the description. So it only cost me about $140, and that's using the original filter, OE oil. This car just makes such an awesome sound. And it's thanks to that Ferrari V8 engine, naturally aspirated. So this car's like the last of its kind. Because the replacement of the Granturismo has already been said to be a V6 twin turbo. Sure, it'll be more powerful, but the engine sound adds to the driving experience. I don't think they'll be able to replicate it. So I think it's just one of the greatest things about the Granturismo is just that, definitely that sound. I feel like this car is just so underappreciated sometimes. It's a great Grand Tourer. Comfortable car, beautiful look, reliable, and nowadays they're quite affordable. Like this one, 2014, you could probably find them for 40 grand. So considering how this one had an MSRP of over $140,000, that's a bargain. So I do want to talk about the alignment on this car, tire wear. So the steer tires, they tend to last about 7,000 miles, and that's using the Pirellis, which the tread wear is kind of low, 220, so they're meant for grip. The alignment is quite aggressive on this car. It's supposed to be towed out. I believe the spec is negative 0.17, and that's for better cornering. But it comes at the cost of the tires wearing out prematurely. So that's one of the things I had considered before, is getting it closer to zero. But on my case, I don't drive it so much to where I'll just leave it like it is from the factory. But that's one thing I had seen where some people had reported on all over the forums about how little the tires last. And that's part of the reason, is just the way the alignment is set up on this car, and the weight of the car. This is a heavy car, and the tires that it uses. The craftsmanship on this car is really good. I don't have any rattles, no squeaks. So 2014 model, it still feels like a new car. The interior is still in great shape. I've heard of several people that they'll get sticky buttons. So far mine are great. I am wearing out the sport button mode though, for pressing it too many times, because that's my favorite button out of the entire car. So yeah, that one's fading out a little bit, that sport mode. So that's about the only thing that you could see that's kind of wearing out in the interior. But just very well built car. In the craftsmanship and the reliability, which is why it's another reason to just go ahead and keep it for a long time, since it's been problem free. Then plus here in the state of Georgia, once I register a car, I only have to pay $20 a year, and that's it, once taxes have been paid. And there's a lot of states where you gotta pay 1%, maybe 2% of its value every year, and that can be quite expensive. So in my case, I've already paid my taxes, and I could keep this car forever and just pay the $20 tag fee. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe.